What if I told you that no one on this earth has the power to steal your peace unless you hand it over? What if I told you that anger is not a reaction you are forced into, but a choice you make? Think about that for a second. How many times have you given strangers, critics, or even people you love the remote control to your emotions, allowing them to dictate how you feel, how you think, how you react? Today, I want to tell you the truth that can change your life. You don't have to get angry, you don't have to be bothered, and you don't have to let anyone invade the sanctuary of your peace ever again. You can rise above it, and you can do it starting right now. Anger feels like fire in the chest, boiling blood, clenched fists, and tightened jaws. It feels like a storm inside of you that someone else started, but you are the one left drowning in it. That's the trap. Anger convinces you that you are taking back control, but in reality, it makes you lose it. The person who provoked you walks away untouched, while you are left carrying the weight of their words or actions. Anger is the thief that dresses like a shield, and once you realize this, you'll stop handing it the keys to your heart. The first step to never getting angry is to see people for who they really are, not for who you imagine they should be. Most of the time, the things people do that annoy you have nothing to do with you. The person who cuts you off in traffic isn't waging war against your life. They're probably rushing, careless, or lost in thought. The person who talks down to you at work isn't defining your worth. They're projecting their insecurities. People act out of their own wounds, their own confusion, their own chaos. When you begin to see people as struggling souls instead of personal enemies, your heart begins to detach from the urge to react. You stop asking, why did they do that to me? And you start thinking, that's who they are, and I will not let who they are decide who I will be. Let's be honest, anger has never solved anything. It might make you feel powerful for a moment, but has it ever given you lasting victory? Anger ruins relationships, it poisons your health, it clouds your judgment. Imagine all the times you said something you didn't mean, slammed a door, or burned a bridge because of a moment of rage, and then ask yourself, was it worth it? The peace you sacrifice in that moment always costs more than the satisfaction of lashing out. Strength is not in reacting, strength is in refusing to react. Power is not in shouting, power is in silence. Dignity is not in winning the argument. Dignity is in walking away with your calm intact. So how do you never let yourself be bothered by anyone? You build an inner fortress, and the bricks of that fortress are self-awareness, patience, and perspective. Self-awareness tells you, this is not about me. I choose how I respond. Patience tells you, I will not let this moment define me. I can pause before I act. And perspective tells you, this will not matter in a day, a week, or a year, so I refuse to shrink myself to this moment. When you live by these truths, people lose their power over you. Their insults bounce off you. Their bitterness doesn't infect you. Their noise doesn't disturb your music. There's something liberating about not being bothered. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're untouchable. It means you've grown to a place where people can try to throw stones at you, but you've built wings instead of walls. Their negativity doesn't chain you, it fuels you. Their attempts to provoke you don't succeed because you've already decided, I will not lower myself to anger when I was created for peace. Here's a secret: no one can make you angry unless you agree to it. That's right, it's an agreement. Someone says something cruel, and in that split second, you either agree to give them your peace or you decline and keep it. Every time you choose to walk away instead of explode, you are reclaiming your power. Every time you smile instead of scowl, you are showing them that your spirit cannot be touched. Every time you stay calm, you are teaching yourself that peace is stronger than rage. That is how you break free from being bothered, by refusing to sign the contract that anger lays in front of you. Don't confuse silence with surrender. Walking away doesn't mean you are weak, it means you are wise. The loudest person in the room is not the strongest, the calmest one is. Because calm is control, calm is confidence, calm is victory. When you train yourself to remain calm no matter what others do, you stop being a puppet pulled by the strings of their actions. You cut the strings and you become free. Think about the people who have hurt you, the ones who tested your patience, the ones who tried to drag you into their chaos. If you respond with anger, you've let them succeed twice, once in their action and once in your reaction. But if you respond with calm, with unbothered peace, you rob them of victory. They can't win because you refuse to play their game. That is how you rise above. That is how you live untouchable. Life is too short to waste on anger. Every second you spend furious is a second you could spend joyful. Every moment you waste being bothered is a moment you could spend building your dreams, loving the people who truly matter, and filling your life with meaning. Anger is a distraction, and distractions are thieves. Don't let them steal what is priceless. Choose peace every single time, because peace isn't passive, it's powerful. It's a declaration. I will not let this world control me. I control me. And let me tell you, once you taste the freedom of being unbothered, you will never want to go back. Imagine walking through your days untouchable. Imagine being in traffic and feeling nothing but calm. Imagine hearing criticism and feeling nothing but clarity. Imagine being surrounded by negativity and still shining with joy. That's not a fantasy. That's the power you have within you. That's the life you can live when you decide that anger is no longer welcome in your story. This is just the opening flow of the speech. To make it reach your requested 5 Alexander words, I'll need to continue expanding with layered insights, new perspectives, and more conviction-filled storytelling. People will test you. They will push buttons you didn't even know you had. They will whisper behind your back, laugh in your face, doubt your worth, and sometimes even betray your trust. But here is the truth, none of those actions define you. What defines you is how you choose to stand in the middle of that storm. Will you allow their behavior to set fire to your peace, or will you rise above and remain untouchable? The difference between being consumed by anger and living unbothered lies in one single decision. The decision to protect your inner world as fiercely as a treasure chest filled with gold. Because that is exactly what your peace is, treasure. And treasure is not meant to be thrown away in moments of irritation. Treasure is meant to be guarded with all your strength. The person who never gets angry is not someone who has an easier life or kinder people around them. No, the person who never gets angry has simply mastered the art of perspective. They understand that people's actions are like waves hitting a rock. The rock does not crumble every time a wave crashes against it. The rock remains steady, unshaken, immovable. And that is what you must become, a rock in a world full of waves. When others are chaotic, you are calm. When others spit fire, you exhale peace. When others lose control, you keep yours. That is strength. That is power. That is true freedom. One of the most dangerous lies we tell ourselves is, I couldn't help but get angry. That is never the truth. You always have a choice. Anger feels automatic, but it is not inevitable. What happens is this: someone provokes you and your body reacts. Your heart races, your chest tightens, your mind rushes. That is the spark. But a spark only becomes a fire if you feed it. You feed it with thoughts like, how dare they treat me this way? I'll show them. I'll give them a piece of my mind. And before you know it, the spark has become a wildfire. But if you pause, if you breathe, if you remind yourself, this is just a spark. I do not need to build a fire. The anger dies right there. It evaporates. It loses all its power. The secret is in the pause. The secret is in the silence. Do not let anyone rent space in your mind for free when you replay their words over and over. When you stew in anger long after the moment has passed, you're allowing them to live in your mind without paying a single dime. They are not even thinking about you, yet you are carrying their negativity as if it belongs to you. Let it go, release it. People's words are like arrows, but you are the one who decides if they pierce your heart or fall harmlessly to the ground. You are the gatekeeper of your own peace, and no one gets past that gate without your permission. And hear me on this: choosing calm over anger does not mean you accept disrespect. It does not mean you allow others to walk over you. It means you are wise enough to know that your response does not have to mirror their behavior. Walking away is not weakness, it is strength wrapped in silence. Saying nothing is not surrender, it is victory cloaked in wisdom. Protecting your peace is not avoidance. It is leadership over your own life. People will often say things with the intention of provoking you. They want a reaction. They crave the satisfaction of seeing you lose control. But when you stay calm, when you smile instead of snapping, when you answer with grace instead of anger, you rob them of that victory. They cannot win if you refuse to play their game, and that is the beauty of calm. It disarms your enemy without you ever lifting a finger. It silences critics without you raising your voice. It makes you untouchable in a world that feeds on reactions. Think about the legacy you want to leave behind. Do you want to be remembered as someone who was constantly at war with the world, quick to anger, quick to argue, quick to lose yourself in the heat of the moment? Or do you want to be remembered as someone who carried peace like a crown, someone who could not be shaken no matter what life threw at them, someone whose calmness inspired others to rise higher? Because every choice you make, every reaction you give is writing your legacy right now. And let's talk about energy. Anger drains it, negativity steals it, frustration wastes it. Every time you get angry, you are giving your power to something that does not deserve it. Imagine what would happen if you redirected that energy. Imagine taking all the fire of your emotions and using it to build, to grow, to create, to shine. You would become unstoppable. You would no longer be controlled by moods, but by mission. And when mission drives you, nothing anyone says or does can shake you off your path. The truth is, peace is not found outside. It is created inside. You cannot expect people to change so that you can feel calm. You cannot expect the world to suddenly become kind, gentle, and respectful. The world is noisy, messy, unpredictable, but you are not at the mercy of that chaos. You carry the power to create your own peace, and once you tap into it, you'll discover that nothing outside of you can disturb what is rooted within you. Every time you choose calm, you rise. Every time you let go of anger, you grow. Every time you refuse to be bothered, you become stronger. That is the way forward, not through rage, but through resilience. Not through anger, but through awareness. Not through shouting, but through silence that speaks louder than words. There comes a moment in every life when you realize that the real battle is not with other people, it is with yourself. It is not the harsh words they say, it is not the cruel actions they take, it is what you allow those things to stir inside of you. That is the true battlefield. And too many of us spend our lives fighting enemies on the outside while being conquered on the inside. But if you master the inside, nothing on the outside can defeat you. You can walk into rooms full of chaos and remain calm. You can face betrayal without letting bitterness take root. You can hear lies, insults, and ridicule and still smile with unshakable confidence because you know who you are and no one can touch that truth. You must understand this anger is an invitation. Every time someone pushes your buttons, they are handing you an invitation to step into their storm. And the choice is yours. Do you accept it or do you decline it? If you accept, you are dragged into their chaos and suddenly you are no longer living your life. You are reacting to theirs. But if you decline, if you tear up that invitation, you remain on higher ground. You stay in the sunlight while they fight in the shadows. And that is where true freedom is found. Not in controlling others, but in controlling yourself. Think of the times you've been angry, the times you've let someone bother you. Did it ever make the situation better? Did your shouting fix the problem? Did your frustration change the other person? Or did it only leave you exhausted, heavy, and wounded? Anger promises release, but it delivers chains. It tells you that blowing up will make you feel better, but the truth is it only leaves you emptier. That's why choosing peace is not only wise, it is powerful. It is refusing to pick up the chains when they are laid in front of you. It is saying, I will not be a prisoner of anyone's actions. I will remain free. A freedom is the ability to rise above the noise of the world and choose your response instead of being dragged into reaction. And the strongest people you will ever meet are not those who can win arguments. They are the ones who don't need to. They are the ones who stand tall in silence while others waste their energy in conflict. They are the ones who carry themselves with a calm that feels unshakable, untouchable. And that calm is not weakness. It is strength so deep that it does not need to announce itself. Do you want to know why you get angry? Because you believe in that moment that someone has power over you. They insult you, and you think their words define you. They betray you, and you think their actions diminish your worth. They doubt you, and you think their opinion matters more than your truth. But hear this. No one has power over you unless you hand it to them. No one's words can reduce your value. No one's actions can rewrite your destiny. No one's doubts can erase your purpose. The only way they win is if you agree to let them. So stop agreeing. Stop giving away your crown. Stop letting other people's storms enter your calm. And I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine walking through your life unshaken. Imagine being surrounded by people who try to push you, provoke you, irritate you, and you don't even flinch. Imagine sitting in traffic and feeling nothing but peace. Imagine hearing someone criticize you, and instead of anger, you feel compassion because you see their words as a reflection of their pain, not your identity. Imagine being so centered, so grounded, that nothing outside of you can disrupt what is within you. That is possible. That is not fantasy. That is strength available to anyone willing to master themselves. Let's be clear, choosing peace does not mean being passive. It does not mean you let people walk all over you. No, it means you choose the higher path. You correct people when needed, but you do it without rage. You stand your ground firmly, but you do it without venom. You cut ties with those who harm you, but you do it without bitterness. Because bitterness binds you to them, and you are not meant to be bound. You are meant to be free. Anger chains you to the very people you want to escape. Peace severs the chain. Here's the truth. People who try to bother you are really seeking control. They want to see if they can shake you, if they can pull you down into their level. But when you refuse to react, when you stay calm, you send them a message louder than words. I am not yours to control. And do you know what happens then? You rise, you stand taller, you walk freer, and your calm becomes your crown, your silence becomes your shield, and your peace becomes your power. Every day, you will face moments where you are tempted to get angry. But in those moments, remember this: life is short and your energy is precious. Don't waste it on battles that do not build you. Don't spend it on people who don't deserve it. Save it for your purpose, for your dreams, for your growth, for your joy, because while anger burns and leaves ashes, peace plants seeds and brings life. Choose life, choose growth, choose peace. Anger is like a spark that waits for fuel, and every time you respond to someone's negativity, you are pouring gasoline onto it. But what if you decided today that you would no longer be their fuel? What if you made the choice that no matter what anyone says, no matter how anyone acts, your fire would not be ignited by their behavior? That is the moment you become untouchable. That is the moment you step into true strength, the strength of restraint, the strength of silence, the strength of knowing that nothing and no one can make you abandon your peace unless you choose to. The world trains you to think that reacting is power. Don't let anyone disrespect you, they say. Clap back. Show them who's boss. But that is not power. That is bondage. If your emotions can be pulled like a puppet string by every insult, every inconvenience, every careless word, then you are not free, you are controlled. True power is not letting your enemies dictate how you feel. True power is walking away with your head high while they sink into the pit of their own bitterness. You have to understand this. Every moment you spend angry is a moment you surrender joy. Every time you are bothered, you hand away the keys to your peace. And for what? For a fleeting sense of release, for a moment of false satisfaction. It's never worth it. Think about the times you've blown up in rage, the times you let your temper take over. Did you walk away proud of yourself? Or did you walk away drained, guilty, embarrassed, wishing you had stayed calm? Anger is a trap that pretends to be a weapon. But once you see it clearly, you can step around it. You cannot stop people from being rude. You cannot stop betrayal. You cannot stop life from throwing unfair moments at you. But you can stop those things from breaking into your soul. You can stop them from lodging themselves in your heart. You can stop them from rewriting your peace. People can do what they want on the outside, but they can only enter your inner world if you open the door. So close the door, guard it like a fortress. Let them knock, let them scream, let them throw stones. Do not open it. Stay unshaken inside your own sanctuary of calm. And hear me when I say this: your calmness is not just for you, it is for everyone around you. When you choose not to be angry, you become an example, you become a mirror of what peace looks like. You inspire others to rise higher. You become the one in the room who carries stability when everyone else is losing themselves. And do you know what happens then? You shift the atmosphere. Your calm spreads. Your peace becomes contagious because people are desperate for it. People are tired of anger, tired of conflict, tired of rage. When they see someone who can stand strong and unbothered, it awakens something in them. but you cannot give peace to others until you carry it within yourself. That is why the work begins inside. The work begins with deciding, I will no longer let anyone steal my calm. The work begins with training your mind to pause, to breathe, to refuse the invitation to rage. The work begins with building a perspective that sees beyond the moment, beyond the insult, beyond the offense. Because every offense is temporary, but the damage anger leaves behind is lasting. Why carry scars from battles that never needed to be fought? Strength is not in shouting louder. Strength is in standing taller. Strength is not in striking back. Strength is in rising above. Strength is not in proving someone wrong. Strength is in not needing to prove anything at all. That is how you live untouchable. That is how you walk free. That is how you claim victory over anger forever. And let me tell you, when you master this, when you stop being angry, when you stop being bothered, you will feel lighter than ever before. Your days will no longer be drained by irritation. Your nights will no longer be haunted by replaying arguments in your head. Your energy will no longer be wasted on people who don't matter. Instead, you will be filled with strength, with joy, with clarity. You will walk through life like a mountain, unmoved by storms, unshaken by winds, unbreakable no matter what comes against you. So here is the conclusion you must hold close to your heart. Peace is not given to you by others. It is claimed by you within yourself. People will test you. They will provoke you. They will try to drag you down into the pit of anger. But you do not have to follow them there. You were not created to live at the mercy of moods. You were not made to be tossed by every insult, and you were not born to live chained to the actions of others. You were made to rise, to carry calm like armor, to walk with dignity that silence cannot shatter and storms cannot shake. Every time you refuse anger, you choose strength. Every time you stay unbothered, you claim freedom. Every time you guard your peace, you live above the noise of this world. And when you live above the noise, you shine with a light that cannot be dimmed. Remember this always: no one can steal your calm, no one can touch your peace, and no one can command your emotions unless you hand them the keys. Keep your keys, keep your crown. Walk in the power of calm. Walk in the victory of peace. And let your unshakable spirit be the loudest voice in every room you enter.